Sharon, it's all yours.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Ehrich.
Everybody did such a good job of getting up here and just giving their talk, and I have mine written all out, so we'll see how this goes. But I also, I'm sure we all could have testimonies, and testimonies every day. God is so good. He is so good. But sometimes we have a testimony that changes our life, and it changes the way we think about things. This happened to me on May 4th, 2020, and it's about taking your authority. And the Lord had been speaking to me a lot about authority, and as I started taking my authority, He gave me more areas to take my authority in. I have a sister that lives in Farmington, Missouri, and I'm actually her guardian, and I was going to her home that day, and my plan was to get up real early on Monday morning and go, because I'm a morning person and I want to go. It's about a 3.5-hour drive for me. And that Friday, before I was going to go that Monday, her neighbor called me and said that she went and had a test for COVID, and that I should probably not come if that test was positive, and she would know Monday. So Monday, I'm ready to go, but I'm also waiting on this phone call. And so she calls me about noon and said that it tested negative. So I'm real excited. I'm ready to go. But we've got a storm coming, and in fact, a couple storms coming. So the first storm comes. Mark says, "You're not going while it's going to storm." So the first storm comes, and it was pretty bad. I mean, we had so much pea-sized hail that it looked like it had snowed at our house. So I stayed then, and Mark, I'm going, well, there's another storm front coming, but I can make it. I can get ahead of this storm. I'll just get ahead of this storm, and I have to leave at 1:30. I have to leave at 1:30. Why, I don't know, but I had to leave at 1:30. So I take out, and I live about 35 miles from Lebanon, going down 64. And I noticed when I turned on 64 to the west, lots of black clouds. But to where I was going, to the east, so clear and sunny and bright. And I thought, yeah, I got this made. I made it about 2 miles down the road, and I got behind a road grader and 2 other vehicles that were traveling about 40 miles an hour. So there's no way of getting behind them. There's no way of getting around them. There's no way of speeding up. And I'm just thinking, I'm trying to get ahead of this storm. Well, the road grader turned off at Bennett Springs, if you know where that's at. How far out of Lebanon is that? 10 miles, okay. So I had done 20 miles behind this road grader. And as soon as that road grader turned off, I mean, the sky opened up. It poured and poured and poured. And then it started hailing and hailing and hailing. It was all pea-sized hail. The wind is blowing. It is black. It is dark. It is so dark. I have and the wind, I have my lights on as bright as they'll go. My wipers are going as fast as they're going. The whole time, I'm taking authority. I'm taking my authority. I'm saying, I bind up wind, I bind up hail, I bind up tornadoes, I bind this up. No hail is going to damage my car. I'm not, so I'm taking my authority. Couldn't stop, couldn't turn around. I had to get to Lebanon. So I finally made it to Lebanon. I pulled underneath Casey's gas station and waited for it to quit hailing. I mean, it filled the streets. It was running down the ditches. And so I thought, this is crazy. What am I doing? But anyway, I went just after it stopped, it went a little bit farther, and I thought, I'm not going any farther. I have had enough of this. And the interesting part about this, the whole time that I'm traveling in this storm, I had no fear. Absolutely no fear. I was kind of like questioning what I was doing, but I had no fear. When I hit the water tower in Lebanon, I could feel this storm, and I could feel how evil it was, and I could feel that it was sent from the devil, and I also knew it was sent on that day because that's the day Governor Parsons opened our state up after the COVID shutdown. And the devil was so very mad about this. So anyway, I turn around and I'm driving home and I'm having a come to Jesus party. And I'm saying, God, I don't get this. I really do not get this. I bound up this storm. I took authority. I said it wouldn't hail. I said it wouldn't storm. And here I am driving in this storm. And the only thing that I heard the Lord say, and you know, sometimes you have that inaudible, audible voice. This was almost like it was out loud. And I heard the Lord say, I needed you there. I needed you there. And I said, okay, Lord, that settles it. That settles it. Okay, so I finally got back home. Mark's going, what are you doing here? You should be in Rolla by now. And I just told him about this storm, got out of my car. My car was green. It had little pieces of green leaves all over it. But I really learned something in the sense that, you know, you can follow God and not know you're following God. You know, really, it's the truth. You can follow God and not know you're following God. So obey when you have those urgings. When you have those urgings. Then also your authority. God needs you. God needs you, and he needs you to take your authority. He needs you to take your authority. He needs you to make a stand. God had just lengthened my area where I had been taking authority, and Lebanon and Laclede County is an area that I had been praying over. So anyway, it was kind of neat. It really affected me. So take your authority. God needs you.
Sharon, you're a blessing. Wow, isn't this good? Hearing these tremendous testimonies. Oh, man, Chris, you know, just the reality of what you've come out of in life to be the man of God that you are now. I mean, who would have thought that you would have gone through that as a child, as a young man? It's amazing. And it just shows how God can take someone who's abused and bring them out. And wow, I like that. And then Roma, I mean, an angel. Before I become spiritual. Just the power of God to help us in those times of need. It's just amazing. And Sharon has something else to say. And Jerry, I mean, look at Jerry. 28 years ago, the doctor said he had terminal cancer, stage 4 cancer. And,
Wow.
and you had no treatments?
No treatments.
And he had no treatments.
Praise the Lord.
Sharon.
Okay, just one more thing, and that was that following week I was sharing this story with my Bible study class, and one of the ladies in there, I was telling this story, and she said, oh, Sharon, I just heard a meteorologist on TV say the storm in Lebanon was nowhere near what we expected it to be.